the reminder is that crypto has been designed to be decentralized and not to rely on any central authority. And so it's a reminder that if you don't own your keys, you don't own your crypto, and you should never trust a central authority with your crypto.
As you make that point, then aren't we left with one big dominant central authority in some ways in the form of CZ and Binance? Hasn't the moat just widened?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think you have many other exchanges on the planet. Think about Kraken, Bitfinex, and very good value propositions. But also think about Ledger. I mean, the consequence of something like FTX and earlier this year Celsius is a big sort of bank run towards decentralization and ledger products. So we are the huge beneficiaries of this. And so think about decentralization as the ability to own your private keys, and so therefore the need for security. So, all in all, I think it's difficult for FTX. It's very difficult for the people that are hurt again by this, but it's probably a good thing for crypto because, again, a good reminder that if you don't own your private keys, you don't own your crypto.
Pascal, fascinating space. If FTX can fail with a whole legion of supposedly very knowledgeable investors thinking it was worth $32 billion earlier in the year, why can't Binance fail? Why can't all the other big players fail as well? What's different about FTX, do we believe, that means that there isn't a domino effect that's going to happen elsewhere?
Look, that's exactly the point. People should be reasonably worried that this could happen, although, Binance and CZ seem to have a relatively solid value proposition. But again, I don't think, if you think about the way that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have been designed, they've been designed to be decentralized, and they've been designed not to rely on a middleman, not to rely on a bank. So, I think the early days of crypto, banks or exchanges were necessary because you needed to ramp from sort of fiat onto crypto. But as soon as you're in crypto, it's actually not good practice in the market to keep your coins on the exchange. And so therefore, you should not keep your coins on Binance. You should find decentralization, find safety, and probably come to Ledger and or a similar value proposition for sure.
I'm going to reiterate the point because I understand exactly what you're saying about owning your own keys and owning your own Bitcoin and what have you, your own cryptos. Do you think, though, that Binance will be the next shoe to drop? If you're saying don't have your crypto on exchanges, do you think the ingredients that send FTX down will send Binance down?
Look, I cannot comment on this. I don't know, and I wish Binance well. But the point is, you're in a space where companies are growing extremely fast. Have been growing extremely fast over the course of the past 5 years. So when you grow that fast, and I think to a certain extent that's what happened to FTX. When you grow that fast, you're bound to do certain mistakes. Again, I think Binance is a very solid player in the space, but if you don't have to trust anyone, then it's probably better. So I would go with trusting myself and trusting to be in possession of my coins and self-sovereignty. I think that's the message here.
Pascal, you've got a much better insight into this industry than I have. What is the interconnectedness at this point of these businesses and these particular coins with other businesses and other coins? And I'm thinking particularly of those who maybe have got involved in significant yield farming practices that are tying knots between different businesses and different products. Is this like a Lehman moment for the crypto industry? Should we expect a lot more businesses to go to the wall?
It's funny that you would say that. I think the Lehman moment actually happened with 3 Arrows, and I think this is, what we're witnessing right now is somewhat sort of the ripple effects of what happened in H1 in our industry. So, is this the end of that, or will there be further dominoes to fall? It's anyone's best guess. But again, I think people should not wait to find out and find safety.
Okay, and that safety is back to the point that you were making, I presume, because at this stage, I think a lot of investors who've lost money either in Luna or in this FTX debacle, they will be wondering what safety looks like with a product that apparently has no intrinsic value.
Well, so Luna was a very different problem. Luna was just like, like a financial product with potentially extremely high returns, etc. So, when you're too greedy, eventually you lose your money. Now, when you own Bitcoin, or when you own a coin that has made proof that it's a good store of value, then there is a question of custody, and there is a question of who you're going to trust with those Bitcoins. So these two issues are vastly, different. And I think when I say that you go for safety, I mean, if you get an asset that is sort of clean and stable, and I think, for example, Bitcoin is one, then again, you shouldn't trust any central authority. And, call me biased, but, at Ledger, this is what we do. We give you technology so you can be self-sovereign and you can manage your own coins, with the best security in the space. There is us, there are other players, but these are the type of players that you need to look for right now, and take your money to safety. That's very as simple as that, because you can't just wait for the next value proposition to fail. And now now you can't say that you've been warned. FTX is a very, very big warning for everyone, and everyone should very feel concerned if they have their coins on an exchange right now.
Pascal, no doubt a warning here too for regulators, the fact that CZ can post a thread and this can be a trigger. When it comes to the other major player, Bankman-Fried, I mean, he spent reportedly 40 million in donations leading up to the midterms, no doubt hoping for friendlier regulation. What do you think regulators do with this story?
Well, I think they might do something that would be surprising. They might actually, sort of welcome more crypto into, very clear regulatory frames. Brian Armstrong from Coinbase yesterday on the post was making a good point that, regulators sort of pushed cryptocurrency trading offshore, and so therefore, vastly escaping US regulation. That's true for the US, but that's also true for Europe. Most trading value propositions are vastly still unregulated. They're seeking regulation. Typically, there is a move from sort of Binance and Crypto.com, moving to France and to Paris. I think this is a very positive move. And I think, the European regulator typically is pushing there, in order to make crypto more mainstream. And so if you have good regulation, I think it will help everyone. And so I think, to a large degree, this is what's happening in Europe. This is what's happening. This is what Coinbase, Gemini, and Kraken and some very legitimate exchanges are doing in the US. And I think we need more of that. So actually, I think this could be a move to further clean the industry and, go from a young industry to much more mature.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.